And we're back. This week I'm not really going to be a talking head. I only have one comic for you because it's a ComiXology Original, and the co-author and the artist of it were nice enough to sit down and chat with me. So without further ado, let's talk comics. That's right, I sat down with writer M.K. Reed and artist Clive Hawken, both from Portland, and they told me about their comic Delver. It's a ComiXology original, so if you have ComiXology, you can read it on there, or if you have Amazon Prime, you can get the first issue for free, which is so cool. You have no excuse not to read it. And they were just so nice, telling me a lot about their process and about how you create a really cool Dungeons & Dragons type comic book, but by breaking all the rules.
Delver is about a girl growing up in a small town where a dungeon erupts from underneath the surface, and to help her family survive the new economy of people coming in and bringing out tons and tons of gold and being able to afford everything, and the actual resources becoming scarce, she decides to go in and fight monsters.
There are definitely some classical Dungeons & Dragons themes throughout this comic, but there's no dumb, stereotypical monster manual in sight. Nope, all that weirdness comes out of their heads.
You can tell Merritt's my favorite character because I gave her dimples and a tooth gap, like the most endearing traits. I think this story has it's a very unique take on fantasy. I think the biggest sort of like drawing from this script challenge has been, I have to make this thing real. There's been some it's challenging, but it's also very fun.
Listen, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but Clive's monsters are no joke. There is a goat that haunts me. Yes, I said goat.
The goat came back and I'm like, this is more terrible than I ever imagined, and I love it.
Honestly, I did not expect people to be so afraid of that goat, too. I really didn't draw it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put a mustache on the human. Like that was my main reaction to it. So it was a nice surprise to.
And I probably don't have to tell you this, but comics are a pretty easy literary medium to just pick up and breeze through, but creating them takes a lot of effort, and I really underestimated what it meant to get a comic off the ground. And Clive and MK were really happy to tell me just how darn difficult it can be.
So our process is, like, Spike and I did a bunch of worlds and outlining.
Hi, I'm back. I just wanted to get you up to speed really quick. So MK has a co-writer. Her name is Spike Trotman, and she is based out of Chicago because she runs Iron Circus, which is a publishing company, which is super awesome. That's why she couldn't be there for the interview with us. However, MK and Spike got together because of a mutual friend named Jonathan Hill, who is a Portland-based cartoonist and artist, and he's also a teacher. And he also suggested that Clive be the one to do the art for this comic. So, very small world, they all got together because of that. So, you're up to speed, back to business.
And I write drafts, she writes over the draft, I go back over it and smooth it out, our editor looks at it, tells us what we need to fix, then it goes to Clive. Clive does the art goes to Marta, who is our colorist, and then it goes to Ed, who is our letterer, and then we go back over it and fix all the typos and things that we missed the other several times that we edited. Comics take a long time to do.
Now this comic has a female lead, written by 2 women, and drawn by a trans man, and that is a big win for diversity in comics, but being a minority in comics isn't always super easy.
Every year, more women come to comics, more queer people, more black people. As more conventions happen, it has stopped being a bunch of dudes in t-shirts that like put on their clean t-shirt and like, it used to be really bad that way.
I think it's really cool that a comic sort of this big and getting this much, like this mainstream, I suppose, is making these choices, and that, I don't know, it's good.
Diversity.
Yeah.
As Clive indulged us in some live drawings, he talked to us about the magic of the Odd Goat Dungeon.
The more time you spend in it, the more it changes you. So the character designs reflect sort of the experience of adventurers. So that was a huge challenge for me in sort of designing like a gradient of weirdness. Like, oh, this guy's been around a while and they've got like bat ears or something. So I feel like I have a lot of sort of very fun freedom in that regard.
So if the dungeon mutates you, I really wanted to know what might happen to Clive and MK if they were in the dungeon for too long.
Yeah, I don't know. Can we answer that without spoilers?
I feel like I would probably go in more of like a tank direction.
Oh, cool.
Maybe stick fighting. I would probably end up getting on the beefier side.
Just being super jacked.
Yeah. I feel like Jonathan could answer this question really well.
And what kind of journalist would I be if I didn't actually ask?
I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dungeon.
And if you don't know, ComiXology is an app that you can download on your phone. You pay a monthly fee and you can read your comics literally anywhere, which is super cool. But again, if you have Amazon Prime, you can get the first issue of Delver for free, and you can catch up on it before the second issue comes out on March 20th. And that's all I have for you guys this week. Pretty easy, but I've been editing this footage for a while. It was such a pleasure to talk to both MK and Clive. Thank you to them so much. And I just want to let you know that I'm going to be at Emerald City Comic Con. You can follow the adventures here on my Twitter and here on my Instagram. And I'll be making videos, of course, for the YouTube as well, but it might have to wait until the weekend is over. So if you want to keep up on the shenanigans, I suggest going here. Now, if you have any comic suggestions for me, I'd love to hear them. Drop them in the comments. And if you have any comic suggestions for me, I would love to hear them. Drop them in the comments, and I will pick them up and give them a read, and we can chat about it. That would be really awesome. And while you're at it, if you could give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, I would really, really appreciate it. Try to build a little bit of a comics empire here where I can chat with you guys about nerd news, but I need you guys to be here for that to happen. And this has been KGW's. Oh my goodness. And this has been KGW's Comic Pick of the Week.
I also have like very good vision. Don't include that.